It is rare to find so much industry expertise all in one spot, right at your fingertips. The world of public adjusting and insurance claims can be a scary one. This changes now. That's why we built this podcast for you, where all the industry experts converge. Let us be your guide to education and personal growth. You're listening to Because Experience Matters, the show for public adjusters who want to up their game. Hosted by the 2021 Public Adjuster of the Year, Jack Hanks. How much money are you leaving on the table by not knowing all the approaches you can take to maximize the payouts to the insured and profits for your business? On this show, you will discover untapped strategies to become an unstoppable public adjuster and an effective advocate for your clients. In every episode, Jack brings on all the industry big dogs, including leading roofers, contractors, lawyers, accountants, and marketers. You'll access the insider scoop, real case studies, real obstacles, and actionable winning solutions. Let's jump in so that you can stop working hard and start working smart.
All right, guys, Jack Hanks, Because Experience Matter podcast. I'm once again excited. So Jacob Guidry of Tree Garden USA and I have become, I say, pretty good friends the last couple of years. Done a bunch of hurricane stuff, done a bunch of stuff in Iowa, Wisconsin, Tennessee, all over the place. Jacob's the guy you see over Facebook with these big ass $500,000 trucks. Yeah, right there, exactly. Yanking shit out of buildings and roofs, etc. So I can speak from experience. These guys are number one, awesome. We talk all the time. He's a good family man, just a good dude. And Jake, thanks for being on, brother.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. It's exciting, brother. We had a little mix up. I had one of my operators. He went on vacation, so my other operator came and took over. But hey, Big Papa got up this morning, got the job rigged up, got it going. So we don't slow down for anything.
As an entrepreneur, you got to dig ditches, you got to clean toilets, you got to cash checks, you got to whatever it takes, bro. Right? You know.
That's right. Wash the car, cut the grass. Doesn't matter to me. You tell me what to do, I'll get it done.
Yeah, I was in Augusta, Georgia, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm getting up there in age, as we all know. And I had to go up in an attic in a commercial building, and the roofers with me were going, Hanks, I can't believe you're in the attic with us. I'm like, dude, we got to get the job done. So whatever we need to do, we'll figure this shit out, right? So
that's it, man. No, that's it. We're blessed to be able to do what we do, brother.
Yeah, we are, man. We are. That's a true statement. I mean, you know, let's talk a little about. So you have a military background, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I was. So I'm retired Army. I got infantry guy, right? So you know, being outside in the heat and in the sweating and the dirty and all this other stuff doesn't bother me a lick. So I'd rather be out here. That I know this is beautiful. When you put me in that, I'm kind of like one of those tigers that just keeps walking around in circles. Gotta give me something to do. You know. So yeah, I was in the.
When were you in the Army? What did you do in the Army, Jake?
So I was in the Army from 2009 until 2012. I was an 11 Bravo. Went through the 18 X-ray program, and I got hurt. Didn't finish that. So when I got hurt, I volunteered to go up to Anchorage, Alaska, and meet up with those guys. Did some fun stuff with them. Did some teaching and some learning, and had a blast. Just meeting everybody and learning learning the military way, basically, right? Because I joined when I was 26. I played college, pro football, and I was grandpa when I went to basic training. I was 26 years old, and they called me grandpa, which was weird.
So what motivated you?
Overall, it was an amazing experience.
What motivated you after going to college to do that?
So my entire family is a military family. The only people that didn't serve was my dad's generation, right after Vietnam and all that stuff. But both grandparents, one was D-Day +2, and one was in the Pacific, flew Corsairs. And then all my uncles are Army or Navy or, so something like that. But I had to go Army because the Navy didn't take me because I'm just too big on a ship. little spots,
Yeah.
And but I had Army. I wanted to go Army, so I went Army, and I had a great time. I was blessed. Got lifelong friends from that.
That's cool. Where did you play football at, Jacob?
So we started out playing football. Played 1 year of high school football. And my dad actually tried to make me a golfer. He'll tell you that funny story every time he gets a chance.
I can see that.
Dad played college ball, and then he played for Denver, and he knew the physical beat up that you get. So I played 1 year of high school football, and then I went to LSU, and had a little falling out there. Me and Coach Saban didn't see eye to eye, so I ended up finishing at McNeese. Got picked up by Seattle after the draft, and then got traded to Miami and Buffalo, and then I had to make some real life decisions after that.
Yeah. Very cool, man. That's a cool story, bro. So your military stuff, is that kind of what? So I know you fairly well. I get a lot of that vibe from you. Has that kind of like molded, I want to say molded or kind of put you kind of got you on the path to the man you are, basically, I'm guessing?
Oh, well, 100% yes. And then even before that, like I said, I grew up in a very strict military family type thing. And so, the whole stuff about like being on time, right? My dad told me something, and then they reiterated it in the military is to be early is to be on time is to be late is to be forgotten, right? So, those little trinkets that I grew up with, when I got into the military, I was a little bit ahead of the game, but they just drilled it in. So, but I run my company like, in that military style. There's a ranking system. There's a path to get promotions. There's everything's just the same way, and we help the people that need help.
Right. So how the hell, now after the military, you haven't been doing this tree thing that long. When did the tree thing start?
So my dad had a tree service my entire life.
Okay.
And when I got hurt up in Alaska, so I broke my hip and my back in Alaska, I had to get all kind of surgeries. They told me I'd never walk correctly again. I'd have to use a cane forever. So he called me up. He was retired, and he said, "Look, let's start a tree service. So I'll show you how to start a business from nothing, and then you just take it over." So 5 years ago is when I bought him out, and so I've been around this tree thing my whole life.
Okay.
My dad, to his credit, has worked. We counted one day something like 40 major storms over his lifetime. And so I've got that knowledge, but his knowledge was very old school, and it's analog. So we brought it a little more digital when we started picking up all these cranes and running it the way we do.
So it's been, I'll tell you, you're one of the first guys, well, probably one of the very first to do the thing with the insurance companies, right? So we do a lot of your work.
So we've definitely gone through a learning curve, but yeah, we work with y'all. Y'all have made our life super easy, Jack. Trust me. I appreciate it.
So can you explain, like, that big machine behind you, that big ass crane you guys are working on right now? How much is that just to buy it? Period.
Just to buy it with no extra trinkets or nothing on it like we have. They start out at about $765, and then on this one, and I'll see, maybe I can turn around my no, maybe not. But on this one, there's a headache rack we added, a bunch of lights. I've got 2 mechanols on the back, which are the grapples that grab the trees and cut them without ever having to put a man in the air. Today we're using straps because the tree's a little full. But no, so they start out at about $760 and they go all the way up to $1.3 million, $1.4 million.
So what I can see from helping you with some of this stuff is most insurance companies, when they think a tree is on the house, they think of Chuck in the truck who comes in his Maverick with a chainsaw and cuts it up for $1,400, right? You've done several of my projects, and I roll up and you got an army and you got about 3 of them trucks, and you're lifting this stuff off these homes and businesses, and your bill is 14, 17, 20 grand sometimes, and we're getting it paid, but the initial reaction from these adjusters are, what in God's name is going on here, right? Because they don't get it. So
that's the truth.
Man, the overhead. Can you explain your overhead, and then just the dollar value, how much dollars you got to run through just to make this thing work, bro? It's got to be insane, right?
It's our workers' comp would choke any other company out just because. I mean, look up there. I got a guy in the tree. I don't know if you can see him, but my high flying climbers, those guys are super expensive. We carried multiple insurance policies on the cranes because just to make sure everybody's covered, right? But no, when we get onto a job, just for instance, here's a fun number for you. Is the first week of Hurricane Ida, payroll and total expenses was about $250,000.
First
right?
week.
To get everything down, first week. Get everything down there, get everybody set up, make sure we got food, water, ice, diesel, all the cranes getting down there, all that fun stuff, right? And that was just with my one crane at the time and a few subs, right? Now we own 5 cranes and semis and all kind of other stuff, 7 skid steers, grapple trucks, and so on. Now, I'm going to be real curious to see that first week, but I tell you what, we're going to hit it like a nuclear bomb. But, what you talked about, what you talking about when we talk to adjusters, their favorite thing is, well, so-and-so did it across the street or down the road. I only had to pay them, $4,200, and they were there for 2 days.
Right.
That's great. When they're cutting the limb and they're dropping it on the roof and then rolling it off the roof, or they're destroying the property more, destroying this everything. Whereas we get in there, what takes them 4 days takes us 4 hours.
Right.
So yeah, their big thing is, and one lady said this the other day, and I argued with her, I think we had this conversation, is that they talked about, well, your bill was this, and if you'd have been there for longer, I'd pay you that bill, but you were only there for this amount of time, so we're only going to pay you half. So I told her, so you're penalizing me for being efficient and having the correct equipment? Doesn't make sense.
Well, it all goes back to, what it is, Jake. It's lack of education, man. It's just they're used to exactly, and they're used to X amount, and they're used to this and that and the other thing. And when people are trying to do things differently, it's like, Bradley Gardner, right? Of the lump sum contract.
Oh, yeah.
Brad's a great guy, smart, and he's the lump sum thing they're pushing back on because it's different, right? They don't understand it, and I mean, the insurance company, they're trained to look at things a certain way. And when it doesn't fit in this little box, that's when things go awry. So even though the policy clearly states mitigate your damages and we'll pay what's fair and reasonable to mitigate your damages. And, I'm sure you can justify all these bills. I mean, if you bill out 20, it probably costs you 13 to do it. So profit's okay, right? In our world. You know what I mean?
That's it. So Hurricane Laura was the first real hurricane that we worked, trying to figure all this insurance stuff out, because the roofers are decades ahead of the tree service industry.
Yeah.
And we're just so far behind, and you've been helping us, get there. So, but with Hurricane Laura, we actually just collected a check from a job that we billed out. It took 2 cranes, 2 man lifts, a bunch of skid steers, a whole lot of stuff. This is one of the largest trees in Lake Charles that we could have taken out. And we got our check finally, almost 2 years later, $76,350.
2 years.
So 2 years. 2 years. It's just been, now we've fine-tuned since then, right? We've gotten everything down to the point, but it's gone from, an average of 6 to 9 months to collect to, with you, it's a lot faster. Y'all guys really kick ass, but we've really, gotten our contracts tighter. We've gotten our people to understand that this is something that needs to be done the correct way. And so it's been a culture change in our industry and in our company for sure. But the biggest thing is, and what we've noticed lately is that, and look, I'm a big statistics guy. I do all these jobs. We've done a little over 1,100 jobs in 2 years, emergency jobs. And, I've done a lot of research and trying to figure out why are we having trouble getting paid, and why are they kicking back on this, that, and the other. And one thing is that, now this is in Louisiana, this is a strictly Louisiana thing, is that the homeowners, the tree goes like this, right? The tree gets off the house, and then all of a sudden they forget about the tree service, the roofer gets there, and they take that tree money and they give it to the roofer.
Yep.
Right? Insurance companies are slick, man. Trust me, they know what they're doing. I know you know that.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things where that's where we're seeing a big fallout is the guys the homeowner's going, well, man, tree's gone. I need a roof. So here's the roof money, So, which we're mitigating that.
It goes to lack of education. The adjusters on the other side are explaining, hey, Mr. Smith, here's your check for $37,000. However, 14 of it needs to go to Tree Guardian, and there'll be a line item
right.
that nobody understands. They get that piece of paper all broken down, and like you said, they're panicking because the roof's leaking. So the roofing contractor is the first guy to get paid, and you're the last guy to get paid because it's out of sight, out of mind. So I think we've kind of, I've worked hard to get this thing, and Galen Hare as well, which is that dude's kick ass. I love Galen.
Galen's been with us since Hurricane Laura, and really we've learned a lot together. He's gotten me through a lot of stuff, but we've also gotten, Galen suggested this. I grabbed an adjuster one day. He was at the house. We built the job. I said, look, we're doing an emergency job right around the corner, man. Just come see. See what we do compared to Billy Bob down the street. And when he got there, he looked at it for 5 minutes. He goes, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. And he approved the amount right on the spot. So
like I said, you guys are rolling in with a $2 million or $2 million worth of vehicles, and these other guys have a chainsaw and a pickup truck. It's just a different world, man. And it's just different, right? And it's going to be. And I applaud you for trying to stick to your guns and trying to change it. So, were you doing retail before Laura? Were you strictly doing retail work and have people? Okay.
Oh yeah. So like when a storm hit, Laura was my 11th major storm professional.
Okay.
And when storms hit, we would just go do cash work, right? That's all I ever knew. Walk up to a house. Hey, it's $8,500. Pull the trees off the house and trim the other trees, and, or $10,000. Or we've done large cash jobs for. In Hurricane Laura, we did a $79,000 cash job. It took us a day and a half because we had the right equipment and the know-how to do it. Hurricane Michael, we did $3.4 million in 3.5 months with not one crane. 27 guys. I had 15 climbers and a bunch of skid steers. So storms is what we do, as they say. The retail stuff, we're so efficient at it that now we've expanded. We are in Iowa and in Louisiana, and we have 2 more locations. They're going to come up before the end of next year because we have the process, we have the correct machinery and the know-how. So now we just got to implement it in all those little hidden pockets of money. So
why did you retail? Why did you switch from the retail to the insurance? Was that not as profitable, or?
I mean, it's a lot harder to make a $25,000 sale than it is to say, hey, look, guys, we're going to come in. The only thing you're going to be responsible for is, either nothing, or sometimes we have people say, look, I can pay you my deductible and not have to worry about it. So, of course, we're going to take money. But, so it's a lot easier to make a sale when it's just that,
So I'm guessing your volume went way up when you started doing insurance proceeds, basically.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I mean, tremendous volume. Plus, it helps the homeowner. It helps the homeowner in the fact that they not everybody has, 50, 60, 70, 100 grand just saved up. So we have insurance for a reason. And that's the reason why I kind of got into it, because now this is a better way to peel the apple, right?
Yeah.
The homeowner gets to come out of pocket less money. The insurance covers what they should cover. And then now the homeowner is better off for it.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Because I was going to say, if you knock on my door and you need 100 grand to pull a tree up my roof, I'm going to after I faint, I probably say, let me call my insurance company, right? So
that's right. Yeah. Before when we handed those cash jobs their receipts, we have a lot of them say, I tell them, hey, look, I'm sure the insurance covers this. This is before I knew anything.
Yeah.
Sure, the insurance covers this. Send this off to the insurance and you'll get your money back. And I've actually checked up on a lot of those clients back from Hurricane Matthew and Hilton Head and Michael and Irma. And a lot of them, because they didn't know, what's the favorite thing the insurance says? Oh, hey, for us, it's, hey, you get $500 for debris removal, for tree debris removal. Well, yeah, that's true, but they don't finish the sentence. It's the tree debris removal to final destination. They don't say, well, under category A or category B or whatever it is, all that's covered. All the work is covered.
Right.
Now you just have to, do whatever. So, yeah, it's been a fun learning curve, an expensive one at that, but we're here, man. We're kicking.
Well, education, it's going to cost you money, right? You know, these guys are like, hey, I lost
Oh
money.
yeah,
Well, it's part of the educational learning, and you know, you got to take bumps like in anything, like in football, bumps and bruises along the way make you a better player. Same thing in business, right? It's been
hey,
nothing,
that is doggone right.
dude. Nothing. If it's easy, everybody's doing this, right? So it's hard
That's right.
work, bro. It's hard work. We all work hard.
That's true.
When
Well,
these
the one thing that I've learned is the attrition rate. The guys that stick with it, the
yeah.
guys that push through, the guys that really take pride in what they do. All the other Joe Blows are going to come and go. You're going to be there over the years.
No, very true. So talk about Facebook a little bit. That's how you and I met. That's how I met 99% of my friends and my clients now. But how is Facebook? Like I didn't start doing that until maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I'll tell you what an efficient, great way to get your name out there and just to I don't say plaster, but just to be consistent with the branding. And you do a hell of a job with that. And it's, you know, we go to these trade shows, nobody knows each other, but you see each other's faces like, oh shit. And you know, I'll tell you, you get to foster these relationships. When did you start doing the Facebook thing? And has that just been ridiculously awesome for you, like it's been for us?
Well, so Facebook, we actually started the Tree Guardian USA Facebook page about 6 years ago. I was just looking at that this morning, just by happenstance, and seeing, you know, we tried the purchase the ads, and you know, we still do some of that, but the organic footprint on Google and on the internet is really, it's about what you put out there, right? So what we've done is we've made it a culture to where all of my management, they're required to make a certain amount of posts every day or every week.
Yep.
And we have just those small requirements. Now you have, besides Facebook, we got Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and God knows all kind of other stuff. I'm Facebook and TikTok every now and then, but I can barely work this phone. My 7-year-old or my 10-year-old can work this phone better than I can. You know?
Amen.
So we have guys that are just way smarter than me with this that go on there. But it definitely has helped, one, with the brand, because the more I get out there and the more people see me, of course, the more work I'll develop. But it's also showing people that, look, I had a guy call me yesterday, just in fact. He's a tree guy. He fell out of a bucket 6 or 7 years ago, and he's paralyzed from the waist down. So he's wanting to get into one of these mechanized cranes, and we're going to see about helping him do that.
Oh, very cool.
He's going to be the first paraplegic, tree man to have one of the mechanized cranes. So now he doesn't have to climb. We just throw the saw on the end of it, and see if we can get him helped out.
Dude, so like that, Jacob. That's
what it's about, man.
That's you know what, all the other bullshit and whatever shit like that is so cool, and I really applaud you and you guys are all about that, man. It's not about, we all do well, right? We all make good money and it's all cool, and shit like that. At the end of the day, bro, that is the ball game, right?
Oh, 100%. And, you know, everybody, I think I posted on Facebook the other day, everybody's definition of success is different, right? The definition of success is, you know, how much money you make or how much shit you have or whatever. For me, it's who can I bring with me? The more successful I get, who do I bring that couldn't have done it otherwise? So that's the way I judge it. Every storm, for every 10 jobs we do, I do a free job for someone that can't pay for it, that doesn't have insurance. You know, Hurricane Ida, we donated $250,000 in work just to help out. We did a church and a couple of houses. Just people didn't have insurance, so they didn't have enough insurance. So we help out, you know, better than somebody killing themselves, you know, trying to figure out how to get a tree off their house. You know, so that's what I do, man. I'm blessed enough, and I live by that, you know, Bible verse is blessed and be blessed. So just do it as best I can.
You know what's crazy is the more you give, the more you get, and it's you know what I mean. It's nuts. I mean, the more cool stuff we do, the more we get back out of it. And it's an amazing journey, amazing ride. Like in our, you know, these. All these storms, and it's amazing what a tight little community we have, you know, with yourself and Chris Corvell and Todd Stern and Galen and you know, John Wood, and like there's a group of us that are, I consider you guys more friends than clients, right? I mean, it's just cool. And these storms, I mean, they're a pain in the ass. They suck living in trailers and stuff. At the same time, man, we had barbecues going on, and just it's a community we have. And it's like, I don't want to compare it to wartime, but you go in there, you just roll your sleeves up and you go for 3-4 months. It's nuts, you know?
Oh yeah, well no, it's and I said this on another podcast, man. The storm game, it's a war game. It's what it is. It's you're going into battle because the austere conditions, the hostile people, nobody's shooting at us. I've had a gun pulled on me just because I look big and scary.
Right.
And then the lady actually hired me because we found out later that another tree service had robbed her the night before.
Oh God.
So, oh yeah, but I mean, that's all the stuff you deal with. And I teach my guys and I teach the people that work with us that exact thing, is that this is an austere condition. This is a wartime condition in our industry. It's not war like overseas or nothing like that. I'm not putting it in that category, but we have to be mentally and physically and emotionally prepared because, we ran. Oh yeah. I mean, we run into people all the time. I got a lady for Hurricane Ida. Her husband died a week before the hurricane, so sitting there with her, and getting her the right help and not just me. I mean, we pulled the tree off the house, but then we get her to the nearest church and just surround her by people that have that loving feeling. You know what I mean? So, that's stuff. If I can end up doing a few of those every storm, I consider it a success.
One thing we talk about a lot on this podcast and in my business and your business is what happens to all of us. And I'm guilty of this, Jacob, is I did the last Ida was my 19th hurricane. Okay. And what happens to me and everyone, and I'm working on this, is we get in these things and I go to work mode A1 and I'm just doing everything I can to get work signed, get it negotiated, get it, and we forget that Mrs. Jones just lost her husband, for instance, and there's a tree in her house and she's going to a freaking hotel, hopefully for 6 months to a year, but her life is basically turned upside down. And we as a business, and I, I'm going to include the whole community of us storm guys, right? We need, man, the empathy thing. We really need to focus on that, man. We almost need to have like a bi-weekly Zoom call with all of us to make sure we keep the empathy in front of us because, man, you and I go home every night. We have beautiful families and we, you know what I mean? We got pools and we got houses. We're good. But then these people, man, we still have clients like you do and Ida and Laura that are not home yet, bro. And we forget that the emotional toll that shit takes. It's hard. And I personally need to do a much better job to empathize, man, because can you imagine going home today and your wife and your kids are, hey, we got to go to the Hilton Gardens for 6 months because our shit's blown up. I mean, and all your stuff's gone.
Oh, yeah, no,
it's like you and I
we lived it.
Yeah.
We lived it. Hurricane Laura messed up our house, and I am literally just getting a roof on our house from Hurricane Laura 2 years ago, fighting with the insurance company. But one thing we do, and I can attest to that exactly what you're saying, Jack, is we get very numb, right? You drive around a hurricane, it's like, oh yeah, cool, it's another hurricane, cool, yeah, there's a tree on the house, whatever. And then I bring in a couple of new salesmen, and they go, like, they're just like awestruck. And I got to remind myself that this is something that is severe, right? But it never fails that and I do the same thing. I'm guilty of it. It seems like the first 2 weeks, I rarely look up. It's just my nose is in the dirt. I'm digging a trench working. But it never fails. By the end of that second week, we always run into a client or we run into somebody that needs our help and they can't pay for it. Or we get brought this person, this veteran or this lady with cancer from Hurricane Laura that they don't have the funds and they don't have it. And then it's like it all comes back. It's, oh, wait, these are people I need to make sure I help. And I need to realize that their lives are turned upside down. But yeah, no, you're not the only one, brother. I mean, we're all in it. We're not nonprofits. We're for-profit entities. Yeah. But I do believe that our core group, you, Galen, and a bunch of the other guys, definitely, Galen and I were just talking about doing the a charity thing because wherever we go in a hurricane, we take over whole parking lots and whole areas. we're going to be bringing in Wi-Fi and food trucks and just helping people get out for the first week. I mean, get out of their mind and the devastation and just have some nice food and being able to talk to people,
Yep.
that kind of stuff.
No, I get, and what I like to do also, this dawned on me, if you get next storm, if you get a couple of veterans that are struggling with their claim, I mean, and they're broke and they have limited insurance, I'll help them adjust the claim for zero just to kind of give back as well. I mean, we're blessed, and, we're doing great, and we're giving back as much as we can. If we can help some of these clients that are limited on that, we can jump in there and I won't even charge them. I mean, I got a couple of claims that, we've lost money by doing the right thing, which is fine because I believe in so strongly what we're doing as a group to make sure these people have a fighting chance, because most of them don't without, companies like yours and mine and Galen and Wood and Todd Stern and all these other guys humping and doing this stuff. So it's I mean, giving back is, dude, it's I hired my son and his best friend started with us the week before Hurricane Ida, and these kids went into a Category 4 storm. They're, like you said, it was I needed that to reset my brain, because it was so new for them. We're driving through debris every day, and I'm like, this is normal, and I forget I've been doing it since 1993. You know what I mean? So it's like
That's right.
You got to reset your brain, bro, your heart.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. It is real hard. I mean, you get numb to certain things, and it's just one of those things where you just have to reset. Exactly, you have to reset your brain, and it's good. It's good. We all need that reset.
Oh, that's a lot, right? So, what are your We're gonna get this thing wound up. I know you're busy, man. I appreciate you being on. Let's go back a little bit. I don't want you to change your life, but if you can go back when you're at LSU and grab yourself by the back of the neck, is there some advice that you would want, of all your experiences since then, that you would want to give yourself, just to give yourself a young Jacob Guidry some advice?
Man, that's deep, brother.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's something that I've been really contemplating and I don't know how to say it, dwelling on maybe. So I had a little bit of a heart attack thing in February. Nothing major, just enough to say, oh shit, I need to pay attention. And I kind of did. I reflected a lot on, what would I do differently? My life is awesome, man. I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I've been, oh man, to the bottom twice, and I mean, almost bankrupt twice, and I've been to the top. And it's one of those things. Is what do I tell my sons, right? Right. And that's how I look at it. What would I tell my sons to say that this is going to affect your life in a great way? And I thought about it the other day. I was sitting there talking to one of my mentors, and he asked me the same question. And I told him, I said, I've really been thinking about this, and I would say that the biggest thing I would tell my younger self is to not take things so seriously, right? Because life is serious enough. We have so many things that happen to us and that happen around us and so on. Is if we take everything so seriously that it takes away from some of those wow moments, right? And for instance of that was the lady that we helped out in Hurricane. Let's see, this one was Irma. No, sorry, Florence. Hurricane Florence. My wife and I were driving. We did a lot of work at Florence too, really fast. And again, no credit, but we were driving and we saw these 5 kids selling lemonade on the side of the road. And they said, well, we were raising Miss Pam Fox. Never forget Miss Pam and Miss Amy. But Miss Pam's kids were raising money for Miss Pam's best friend, Miss Amy Riggs, who the grandmother died like a month before, and they had been homeless. The grandmother died and gave and willed her home to Miss Amy, right? And Hurricane Florence comes through and drops one of the biggest, and I can send you a picture of this root ball. Jack, the root ball was 20 foot tall. One of the biggest trees I've ever seen. Dropped on the back of this house. And they were looking for some money to hire a tree service. So I told them, well, I'll go check it out. And in no way was I going to do this for free, right? I think I bought $500 of lemonade. I bought all the lemonade, gave it to my guys, because we had done $1 million by then.
Yeah.
And so we get over there, and we get over to the house, and another tree service had just walked up, gave her a price of $29,000 to take the tree off the house. And they don't have the money, right? So I walk up and I look at it, and something came over me and said, Jake, we just do this. Just help them out, right? Yeah. And not for publicity, not for nothing like that. Just help them out because they need the help. And we did. We brought in all our guys. I asked my guys, so look, we're going to work late because it was right at the end of the hurricane time. They had been literally for tree service for almost a month, right? Water, going in the house, all kind of stuff. And we got all the guys out there. We took this giant tree off. I mean, huge. And now that they're some of my lifelong friends, right? So it's just one of those things where we don't take that serious moment too seriously. We realize that people are hurting and people are still people.
Yep.
Then, it really opens up. So we've been blessed so much. Why, I make sure to make sure I bless everybody as much as I can after that.
It's a thing, man. It's I tell my guys, I go, the cool part of what we do, number one, we get to help a lot of people and businesses get back on their feet. Okay, a lot. We did 400 claims in Ida. You know what I mean? And the other part to that is you can go to bed with a clear conscience, knowing that you fought and you fought and you fought. We don't always win, Jacob, like right? But we fight. Oh, yeah. We claw, and then at the end of that, we're blessed because we actually do very well financially because of this business, right? So I don't know if you get asked for a better, and then the people, and then the fourth part of that is the people we have around us. My friendship base because of this is just unbelievable. I mean, there's about a dozen of you guys I could call on a Sunday night. Hey man, I need help in Arizona tomorrow, and I guarantee y'all would be there, and vice versa without even asking why. Like this, can you be here by 8:00? Yes. And it would be a yes. And I would have a dozen friends of mine here to do whatever. It's crazy. So yeah, this industry is, I don't know of a more tight knit group of people that we are. I mean, it's, I got goosebumps right now. You know what I mean? It's just cool, right? It is. It's amazing.
It is. No, look, I've been around some really awesome people. I've been blessed to be introduced to people like you and Galen and, and a bunch of other guys. And it's expanded my emotional and physical reach, right? Because when I can't get there and help somebody that needs help, I know I can, like you said, I know I can call one of y'all and y'all will do the same thing I would do, so that's what makes it so amazing.
Yep. No, it's a cool thing we do, man. And Jake, once again, I know you're busy as hell. Thanks for coming on today. How do if they have trees in their houses or businesses or just want to talk, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you, bro?
Best way to get a hold of me is you can call the office at 337-852-4880 and talk to Missy, and she'll get it directly to me no matter where I'm at. A lot of guys have this cell phone number. It's 337-342-0696. If I don't answer, shoot a text, and I'll get back to you pretty quick. Jack knows that. Yeah. Because unless I'm in a tree, I'll pretty much answer the phone. And then our website's treeguardianusallc.com or treeguardianla.com. We have two websites. You can reach us on any one of those. And if anybody has questions or wants to, learn about this some more, we're going to be actually getting together with some other guys and putting on some classes here pretty soon, and just kind of educating, like you said, education is key. If I can educate the adjusters to understand that why this crane costs more than a stick crane, and have them realize that, it'll make life a little bit easier, right?
100%, so, bro, 100%. All right, my brother. Well, dude, go lift some more trees off people's houses. That's great, dude. And once again, awesome. Jacob, I thank you for your friendship. Your loyalty, everything about you is just, your vibe is great. I enjoy hanging out and everything we're doing together. And once again, tell your family I said, hey, I'll probably see you in about 2 weeks at the hurricane somewhere around the coast somewhere. Hopefully not Louisiana again, but yeah. So.
That's my brother, man. Yeah, hopefully not Louisiana. Let's go somewhere else. But I am ready, willing, and able. And so we got Hulk here today. So
nice.
This is our big boy, picking up trees, doing what we do.
That's awesome, brother.
Y'all have a blessed day, man. I appreciate you, Jack.
All right, Jacob. Thanks, bro. Be safe out there, my man.
Sounds good, brother. Later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Because Experience Matters podcast. That's all for today's show. If you want to learn more or work with Jack in person, visit www.thejackhanks.com. Oh, and don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify to continue to grow the podcast and change the industry.